Youngest in the Yacht Club. I am Vince Serrano. Man, we got a special guest today. He's a fighter, he's an influencer, and now he's an actor. Shout out to my dog, Zach Ziggy Johnson. What's up, bro?
Hey, bro.
Glad to have you on here, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, definitely.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you.
Man, all day,
Hey,
man. You are the man, bro. We met at first we met at Hype Boxing
boxing.
when you fought Danny.
Danny. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know you then. I was
Right,
just on the side with
right.
William Golston and Chef Corey.
Yeah.
But then we got to connect at Misfits
In
in Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really where I got to meet you, man. And so we always start off the question, who is Zach Johnson?
Oh, I'm just a guy that just, I guess, that I just go after everything. That I just want to be the best. That I want to face the best, and I want to take on anything, that's put in up front of me. If there's a, if there's a freaking challenge, then I want to do it.
Awesome.
If it's like I'm going outside the box and doing it, then I will, then I want to do it. I just think that some people are scared, and I'm not scared to do something new.
That's awesome, bro. Yo, bro, you are doing everything new. Now you're doing acting, right? But when I met you, you do fighting.
I do.
When I first saw you fought Danny. Shout out to Danny, cool dude, awesome
He
dude.
is. He is.
He's an influencer, but you've had professional fights.
Yes.
There's a difference between you and other fighters, bro.
Yeah.
I'm still amateur and I'm still an
Right.
influencer. I'm still getting in the ring, but you have actually fought professional people. What made you want to start fighting?
That's that's actually very good to ask. I started in semi-pro. Um, I started in semi-pro
Like boxing?
football,
Okay.
and then I went to pro indoor football, and then I got too old. So then somebody that he was like a freaking a bouncer,
Yeah.
and he's like, that I want to show you this mixed martial arts stuff, and then maybe that I could show you this, and then we can get in the gym, and then you could go with it. And I did, and I started to work with them. That I started to do freaking training, with them, and then I got into it, and it wasn't the most easiest people that I fought. I think it's been on since then, that I've fought very, very hard on people, but I just like to compete, and I think it's fun, that I think it pushes you.
Yeah. Bro, you fought like some real people, man. Like
I have.
you've gone in the ring and you've taken those challenges against people that, that are pros
Yeah.
and dude, you even gave bare knuckle. You were gonna give bare knuckle a shot.
I know, man. Shout out to them, that I want to come back. So then, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I definitely want another shot at that. That I was going to be on the first New York card.
Wow.
Uh,
What made you want to do that? Like, what made you want to do?
it was the fastest growing sport, and and it's almost like a bar fight and stuff. That you have to use your fist, and I think it's more it's more different because you can't really box in a block. It's if you have the mixed martial arts background, and you did on kickboxing, and that that freaking Muay Thai on clinch.
Yeah.
That it definitely freaking helps you. So
Right.
that I had that on background, so I wanted to do it. That I finally came to freaking New York, and that I had the shot, but yeah, that David Morgan went out on a podcast the night before the fight or something, and was in a Pizza Gate or something that they called it. He was in a, so then they canceled the fight, and that it sucks, and I just haven't been back, but but I still want to. I think that was the turning point after the video came out, that someone said that I was gonna die in the ring. So
What was that about?
it was somebody from Canada. He made a video saying that I was gonna die in the ring like, because I had so many freaking like losses and stuff. And he's like, oh, well, it's just like healthy. So I messaged him and he's like, no, like, that it's nothing against you. It's just that I have family and friends like messaging me about you not fighting. And I was like, that I said that my parents don't even know who you are and stuff. And my friends don't even know who you are. So, but I think that video, just like started the change. It really it really like mentally like got me to change, like, that I need to change the work ethic. I need to change the way I fight. I need to like change the way that I train, and I need to fight different. And I think it like catapulted me and to that different like fighter, like, that I've now like become.
Wow. Yeah, man. That's awesome, bro. And bro, where did you grow up at? Like, well, tell me a little bit about Zach Johnson. Like,
Definitely.
yeah.
So I'm from upstate, like New York. So I'm in the Finger Lakes, like a region. So I come from a small like a town. It's Phelps, like in New York. It's out in freaking like on country.
Uh.
So it's all like on cornbread and stuff out there. So it's
Corn
not
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So it's not bad.
Upstate. Yeah.
Upstate, yeah, all the way. And I put that town on my shoulder, like, and like especially the freaking like a Finger Lakes, like a region,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like Rochester's big, so
Yeah.
it's somewhere's in that area too. So, um, I just like to compete. So I just love that, like that I just love when someone like tells me that I can't do it or I won't do it, and then I go out and do it, and then they find something else wrong. So you got to switch this, and
As you keep doing it.
yeah, yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
you got a fight coming up, man, that I
I
think
do.
everybody, Ziggy, me and you've been, you've been super, super cool with me, man, from the jump. Your question, actually, we went to Misfits, and I was supposed to perform that night.
You were.
And you were there with me because Fame was
Yeah.
gonna perform that night as well. And then, we got the news that, you know, one of the fighters couldn't compete, man. Like,
Yeah.
how, let's talk about that in boxing, because boxing, there's the fighting and people only see that, but they don't
Yeah.
see the other parts of boxing, man.
Absolutely not. So that there's all the oth- other stuff like that the fighters like gonna deal with. Like some of us have to freaking some of us have to freaking like a weight cut. Some of us may have like a medical stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah.
That there could be fighters that pull out. There could be fighters that get like hurt in camp, that they come up sick, the night before a fight or the day of the fight. There's like these are things that like people just don't see.
Right.
And
They might not pass an MRI type stuff.
correct,
right?
yeah. So when someone I know has said it to me, they're like, oh well, that you've had canceled fights. I've had canceled fights that I can't control sometimes. Yes, I was sick for one. I'm not going to put my body inside the ring if I'm sick and I can't stand up.
Right.
That shit's like stupid. That there's others where, something happens with the venues, like, so the like show gets like moved back or it gets canceled. Like, that's not on the fighters, you
Right.
know. And I think that the fighters like going to take a lot more, you know, we're always at fault. Like, that we're always to blame.
Yeah, more the criticism, right?
Yeah, and I think that that's where the freaking like promotions need to come out and say like, that we moved it, like that we canceled it because of this, or like this happened like about because of this. Like I can tell people from I fought on like Hotel Mundos, which is the largest Spanish like, channel in the world. I fought like Julio Solis, which is from around the area.
Yeah, from
I
Tampa.
believe.
Yeah, Julio.
Yeah, like
Macho.
yes, great freaking fighter. Like that I have so much
And
freaking,
he's a
respect
professional.
for
I
him.
think he's like 5 or 7-0, one of those things.
Yeah, like I fought him his second or third pro fight that we fought on freaking like Hotel Mundos. Like that I got to share the ring with him.
Wow.
Like that his family is like on great. But like I'm going into that fight, I had to lose weight fast. Like I had like 5-6 days to lose like 15, like on 20 pounds.
Wow.
And I showed up to weigh-ins and I missed weight. There's nothing that I could really do, like that I tried, but the fight still went on because of freaking like Julio like wanted to fight. Like, he sold a whole shitload of freaking like tickets.
Wow.
But I shouldn't have been like fighting. Like, that I should have never like passed the medicals, but the medicals like passed me, and I think that has to do with the freaking like promotion, that they just want a fight so that they get paid. And that's what the fighters came to go and like see. That the fans want to see the fights. So, like,
You say you shouldn't have passed medical?
I shouldn't have passed medicals.
No?
I could hardly stand up.
Wow.
Like, that my coach, when we were doing the freaking go duck walk,
Yeah.
like, I thought that I was gonna pass out.
Wow.
There's no way that that I lost like so much weight in like so little time.
Wow.
And then the very next day, of the fight, I slept all day and all night because I was so exhausted. I was so tired.
Wow.
That like what my coach did was wrong, but he got a freaking like monster in and he dumped it down my throat, and he's like, dude, you just have to throw, because as soon as he like gonna hit you, that your body's just gonna give up. Like,
wow.
Because if you lose all that weight in a short amount of time, like that your brain, yeah. So the brain has a freaking like proteins in it and stuff, so it needs to freaking like hydrate itself so that you could die that way and stuff. But like that I went and fought because I wasn't going to take a fine, because they told me if I didn't fight that I was going to take a fine and then I was going to get a year suspension. Like, so I fought and I got my ass handed to me.
Damn.
By freaking like Julio Solis. I am not like using that as anything. Like, he is a great fighter.
Yeah.
He trained hard. He fought hard. He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that there's those those little things that like people don't see.
Wow, man, dude, bro. So, I think when we were talking, you thought that you were gonna be done with boxing. Like I
said that, yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to, like, there was one fight that you were really looking to fight for, and that was
Alberto Ochoa.
Alberto Ochoa,
which it will happen at some point,
right?
In like a 2025.
But that was your
like the last fight.
That was it.
That was going to be my last one.
Why were you so caught up on fighting Albert Ochoa?
Because he's such a huge name. He's got a huge following. I mean, freaking like a TMZ. What is it? Oh, it's out in California. ABC News.
Yeah.
He's got the Kardashians because he took out like on Kylie Jenner. Everybody wants to fight him. And he's turning freaking like a pro, and he wants to fight me. I understand why he wants to fight me.
Yeah.
In his pro like debut, because of my freaking like a record, he thinks that he can win. Like that. I know that we have freaking like respect for each other. Like, he does like respect me. Like, he said it, all the time. Every time that we talk, like like when he says it. I just feel like, that's a money fight, and I feel like that's going to put the eyes, and like, when I knock him out, it's going to put more eyes on me, and then I can like leave the scene as like knocking out the king, influencer king, not pro king, but
right. But he's turning pro, so now you want to.
I do. Yes, I definitely want to freaking like welcome him in, and I'm very like humble, like that he chose me.
Wow.
Like, for it. And like, that I can't wait to fight him. Like, he is training hard. He is training super hard. Like, he's putting in the work. He's doing everything that he's supposed to do because he's out to prove something.
Right.
So I can see that.
For sure. You're getting ready for that fight, but in between that time, right? In between that time, it looks like you've somehow gotten another fight that you fight next weekend. The 18th,
yeah.
The 18th
of January, yeah.
On DAZN.
Yes.
On Misfits.
Misfits boxing, yeah.
Who are you fighting?
I'm fighting like Prince, Sammy, like Hamid. His father is a freaking like a legend in the UK.
Wow.
And they're both in the video game that just came out. And so it's kind of weird because I was watching the freaking like Tyson Fury fight, and I didn't know who he was. Like, that these three people, like, I didn't know who his father was. I didn't know who Sammy was, and I didn't know who his like brother was.
Right.
And you see the camera on him like during the fight.
Yeah.
Like walking in, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. And then I get the call and I find out that's who I'm like fighting, that like Prince's son or the like Prince like legend or something. And
Yeah.
now it's got all this hype around it, and yeah, it's just insane.
What do you expect to come from that fight? Like,
Oh man, yeah, well, I can say so far on social media, it's been like positive, positive and like negative. The support like from the UK has been freaking like phenomenal,
wow.
especially here, like that you guys and you know um all the other like fighters. And then there's a lot of like a negativity, like because he's because he's the son of a freaking like legend. They're like, oh well, you have no shot, that you can't beat him. You're 0-6 in pro like boxing. Great, this isn't a pro boxing match. This is a Misfits match. So I'm 0-0.
Right.
That, and if you put the influencer game into it, nothing against Danny, but I'm 1-0. Like I've already like taken like care of somebody like that's in the influencer game. I just feel like it's a different like level. I feel like, again, like not all of them are the same.
Right.
That there's a lot of good influencer boxers. I just feel like that the talent that I fought, that they're not giving me a shot, and that's fine. But soon, like they will see. And and I just hope that he's like training hard and that he's not taking it, like it's going to be a very easy fight, easy night. Because if he is, like, then he's going to like pay, and I will like put him out.
What do you do well in the boxing ring that you think, like, what gives you the confidence that knows that you're gonna put somebody out, man?
I just feel like it was so like weird actually that like last week, like that I was with my like coach, and like that we're going through the rounds, and like as we got early, like later into the round 3, 4, 5, 6, I got better. And then like usually when a fighter's like tired, that they get worse.
Yeah.
Some of them. And I'm like different. I fight different, like when I'm like tired. And I didn't like think of it. And then I went back like to the Danny fight, and I watched it, and I got better as the rounds got going. Like that I could break you down, that I could figure it out. Also like that the corners do a great job.
Right.
So I figure, and I've said it on like a podcast so far, the first round he's probably going to win.
Oh.
Because I have to see what he's going to do. It's a feeler round, as you know.
Right.
It's after that. Mine thing is it's a mental game too. So if he doesn't get me out in the first round, that might like bother his father. Like who's in his like own corner. That might like bother his fan base. That might bother him. And then if I get into the second round and he doesn't put me down, and I get into the third round, now I want to see where his like mental mind is.
Right.
Now I want to see if I can break him now, because now you've had 2 rounds that you couldn't finish me. What are you going to do in the third and fourth round? Are you going to swing with, everything you got so that you can make that mistake?
Right.
So that's the biggest thing that I feel like, that I've learned and I've gotten better at. Plus I also like to slow the fight down now. In the past, like, that I wanted to strike.
Right.
And then I was getting like caught. Now I slow the fight down and I feel better because now I'm fighting my fight. I'm not fighting theirs.
Right. So yeah, so you slow it down. You want to take him into deep waters to see what he really has.
I do.
Man.
Like, yeah, like, because everybody was asking me if I saw his last fight, and I did.
Right.
And like he's got a great like jab. He's got great punches. Like they're right. They're like right down the pipe.
Right.
But as a boxer, as you know, that your head's not supposed to be down the middle.
Gotta get off the center line, dude. I'm not gonna be there.
Right. Right. So I figure if we do that, and I saw when he got touched a few times, like that he's like tried to grapple and like hold. So, and plus he bounces around like he like showboats, like just like his father. There is nothing wrong with that, but he does keep that left hand down, and I've been watching it very, very well. And I think he's going to come in cocky. I think he's going to be confident, And I mean, I keep telling them like Misfits fans, like, you, you know, if you got that hand down, like, then I will like land, and I
Yeah,
know that I have the power. So I guess that we will see.
that's awesome, man. Zach, if you could give yourself um, a piece of advice, like your younger self, a piece of advice, what would that be?
I should have started the. I should have took more fights. I should have went in like go to freaking like a boxing. Also, amateurs like had those amateur boxing fights.
Uh,
And I shouldn't have like jumped into it. Like that I jumped into it thinking it's just another fight. Like that I can do it on my own. I made those mistakes, and that's why that that I'm started out like 0-3, 0-4, and then I got a coach, and then I got better. So I wish that I could go back and I could change all that. And as as you're learning the sport too, some of these like matchmakers say, "Oh yeah, easy fight." Like, "Oh, he's not that good," and then you look him up, and he's like way better than what they're talking about.
right.
So I think that that was another thing, like with the knowledge there.
Yeah, do your homework on those.
Absolutely, because like some of them are gonna lie to you, or it's their fighter. Uh just like this Misfits fight, I think that's like, oh, he's signed to Misfits, so it's their guy.
Right.
So again, that I get like a handed somebody. So
Perfect. Perfect. Bro, final message that you can give to all the people. What do you think?
I think it's that you just have to continue like to follow your heart. That you have to continue to keep like on going, even though that there's fans, friends, like people on social media saying to stop, that you suck, that you should quit, that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Um, at the end of the day, I think that actions speak louder than words, and I've always like lived by it. I say it all the time. I'm like I'm like a huge on it because I watch people on social media. I watch people in a bar, restaurant, out at places. They act one way, but they say another. And
Mhm.
I do not look and believe in that. What you say, you know, is what you should do.
Wow.
Like, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think that I watch people talk, but they don't do. And I'm the one that's stepping in the ring and stuff. But the people that are telling me to quit have never even like thrown a punch, maybe in a bar or like maybe at a party, but not against somebody that actually like trains every single day.
Or we'll hit them back.
Absolutely, like 100%.
Man. Zach, where can everybody, Zig, I appreciate you being on. Where can everybody find you, man, on socials?
Absolutely. Instagram it's at Zach Ziggy like Johnson 28. I'm on Facebook. It's like on Zachary like on Johnson. X it's Ziggy Rocks 28. Snapchat is Ziggy 2848. Uh, yeah. I don't
That's
know
pretty.
about like a TikTok. I know it's Ziggy 2848 or something, or underscore or something. That thing's got a whole nother thing to it.
But go check them out on Misfits, though, for sure. Make sure
Yeah.
y'all check them out this Saturday, January 18th, on the Zone.
Yeah, it's like Manchester, England. They were fighting at the co-op
Wow.
with like that holds like on 23,000 people, and the main event is freaking like on Darren is is a is a is a UFC legend like on Darren like on
Till.
Till versus Anthony Taylor.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Yeah, AT gets in there, man.
He-
Man, we need to holler at AT, man. Tell him to get me on CFL,
I
bro.
know, man. Like, he needs to.
Yeah, man. But bro, I'm super happy, bro. Ziggy, I know I do want to say this, bro. Regardless of you being on Misfits, or regardless of you being on those things, man. Like, you've always kept it 1,000 with me, bro. Like,
Absolutely.
and you actually
Thank you.
you told me when I was supposed to perform for USA Saying, and we got told that he wasn't performing.
Yeah.
You asked me like, yo, do you want to do this boxing thing?
Yeah.
And bro, I told you this once before, but you're the reason why I actually got in there, because I was like, you know what? If that's how I got to get my music played, then that's how I'm going to do it. And you were like, yo, I think you'd be good at it, man.
Yeah.
And bro, I appreciate it, man. I
man.
got in there. I've already had 2 amateur fights, bro. And
Yeah.
I want to tell you, man, it's really because you kind of like challenged me. Like, I think,
you.
you know, so thank you, bro, for coming, man. Like,
yeah, man, like, thank you for all of this. Like, you know, like, thank you for the support, you know, everything.
Awesome, man. Yeah, man. And my wife Jenny helping you too, man.
Yeah,
Shout
absolutely,
out
like 100%.
Yeah,
like, you know, that
man.
I'm very thankful for it.
I appreciate you, bro. Well, thank you, Ziggy, man. Thanks for being on Youngest in the Yacht Club, bro. Good luck on your fight, dog.
Thank you, bro.